right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Shotgun now with Purdy. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Here is 3rd and 5. Purdy from the gun. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick-6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Now Purdy. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First catch of the game there for Samuel, and it results in a first down. Throwing here, Purdy. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And McCaffrey going to pick up a Niners first down as he'll take this down to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, once more, strong running. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Now this time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. Dancing to his left. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
He was certainly quick to atone for his early game interception. Instead of making another mistake forcing something, he reset himself and found a lane to pick up the first down.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
And that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Purdy looking to throw. Quick throw there is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And this one is no good. He missed it. But there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
McCaffrey will get into the end zone for a 49er touchdown. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here first and 10 at the 20. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. You look at this Niner defense. They come into this one way down at number 23 against the run of the NFL.
I always think back to what my defensive coordinator in college used to tell me. Playing against the run is 11 individual battles Man on man. And are you going to win that battle? You're going to whip the guy across from you and get to the ball carrier, wrap him up, and put him on the ground? Because the one thing he absolutely detested was yards after contact. Tackle him, put him down on the spot.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Play action this time with Love. That is caught. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, but their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
7-7, our score after 1. In motion right, Dobbs. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Jair Brown on the stop there. The Packers had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career, and Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Play fake. Here's Love. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Back to throw, Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's Purdy. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Purdy sets up to throw again. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. There he goes, left side. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick-6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick-6.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that makes the score 14-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. First down, they start out with Abanikanda. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's 2nd and 10. Purdy winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Second and 9. Once again, it's Jacobs. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Second down and 4. They'll send Reed in motion left.
He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way.
Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Off the play fake, Love. Able to shoot, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Purdy now to throw.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
3rd and 2.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Powerful running. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Now they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Out of the gun, Purdy.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Purdy. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Eric Stokes.
And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Smash! Ready? Go!
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go. 19 Lions. Take go.
Love looking to throw it. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On play action. Love to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
49ers 7.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports.
And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Love, they go play action now.
Now this aired out deep for Reed.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On now is the Packers punter, as he's on here to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now on 2nd and 13.
Purdy.
That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 1st down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. This is Jennings. And he'll be down at the 46. Well, they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
To throw again on 2nd down. Purdy. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected. But this is a good pickup here for the first down.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers.
Christian McCaffrey, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Moody good with the extra point.
And we are tied at 14. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown. So every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Love now.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
3rd quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Here's Love. He hits Dobbs on the crosser.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
2nd down and a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Check smash. Go.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
I'm not lying. Check go.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love.
That's taken in by Kraft.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
Tucker Kraft,
his second touchdown on the season.
And the Packers have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the third quarter.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Now Purdy. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing here, Purdy. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 30 big ones.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
But sometimes, Brandon, it's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
98 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal. Purdy looking to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Here we go with McCaffrey. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Niners are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. Fighting through, and he's got space. Still on his feet. And finally, they get him to the ground, but it's all the way down at the Niners' 26. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 45 yards on the ground. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Here we go, 1st and goal. Jacobs is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Josh Jacobs, his 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Packers answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Throwing to start the drive. Purdy connects with Kittle underneath. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Here's 2nd down.
Looking to throw. Purdy.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney.
And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Tag. Alert. Alert.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he has a Packer 1st down. And that should be the one that finishes the script. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Going on the ground with Jacobs. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Josh Jacobs with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Packers have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone. I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass. Let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground. And he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14.
Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter, Trenton Gill, to kick it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
And they will take a knee here.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it.
And this going to wind up incomplete. So they took a chance on the fake spike. Doesn't work out, but at least here, the clock does stop with the incompletion. But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.